Remember when Angel was at LSU and she trolled Caitlin Clark and was following her around the court and smiling and doing the old this. Well, now there's this, Angel. Chicken's coming home to roost. Pardon the impoliteness. I have a new nickname for Angel Reese. Butter. As in, butt her face. Butt her face. Great legs, great butt, great skin, and then the face. In Angel's case, it's the basketball version.
There are moments in sports history that transcend the box score. Moments so brutally humiliating and intensely personal that they permanently alter the trajectory of a rivalry forever. What just unfolded on national television was not just another regular season basketball game. It was the complete unfiltered destruction of a player's ego captured in crystal clear high definition before 20,000 screaming fans. When the final buzzer sounded, the entire arena was not just cheering for a victory. They were actively laughing. And standing at center court, completely unapologetic, was Caitlin Clark, pointing directly at Angel Reese and laughing so hard she could barely catch her breath. To truly understand how we reached this boiling point of pure chaos, you have to look at the psychological warfare that built up throughout the entire evening. From the opening tip-off, the energy in the building was electric. Every single possession felt like a heavyweight title fight where neither side was willing to give an inch. Angel Reese came into this matchup with something massive to prove. For months, the debate had raged across television networks, podcasts, and sports bars about who truly controlled the narrative of women's basketball. Replayed with an aggressive edge, jawing at the referees, throwing physical elbows in the paint, and taunting the opposing bench after every single rebound. Every time she secured the ball, she made sure the cameras caught her talking trash, feeding off the hostility of the crowd and looking directly toward Caitlin Clark with total defiance. Clark, on the other hand, played a completely different game. She did not engage in the early verbal sparring. She did not trade insults after whistle stoppages. Instead, she methodically picked apart the defense. With surgical precision, dropping deep three-pointers and dishing out jaw-dropping transition assists that left the opposing defenders tripping over their own feet. Every time Reese tried to turn the game into a street fight, Clark responded with pure basketball artistry. But as the clock ticked down in the fourth quarter, the score remained dangerously close. The tension in the arena was so thick you could cut it with a knife.
Now, and let me show y'all this.
So DraftKings was the one who reposted this. They said Caitlin Clark laughing at Angel Reese, bruh, after the Angel Reese missed layup to win by a buzzer beater. The rivalry is definitely still alive, bruh. And I'm here to tell you, this is the face of defeat. I'm telling you right now, Angel Reese is defeated. And one thing I always tell you guys, y'all should know this. The internet will give it, and the internet will damn sure take it away. Y'all ever heard of saying, at this moment, you knew you messed up? This is the look Angel Reese had on her face. At this exact moment, she knew she's gonna be the laughingstock of the basketball world for the next 48 hours. That's exactly what happened. And it was so bad, Angel Reese did not speak to reporters after the damn game.
Through that fourth and overtime, they outscored 31-19. What changed in that at the end of the game?
Wait, can you repeat that?
At the end of the game, they outscored you 31-19 in the fourth and overtime. What was the difference in the game, Billy, at that point?
I feel like we fought hard. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like we just came up short tonight.
With less than 15 seconds remaining on the game clock, the stage was set for pure drama. The game was tied, and the ball was inbound with the entire season's pride on the line. The play call broke down, the perimeter defense collapsed, and through sheer scramble, the ball found its way directly into the hands of Angel Reese, right underneath the basket. It was the dream scenario every athlete imagines from childhood. Wide music, open, 2 feet from the rim with no defender in sight, and the entire world watching. All she had to do was execute the most fundamental play in the game of basketball, a simple, uncontested layup. What happened next will be replayed on highlight reels and internet compilations for the next 50 years. Ree elevated toward the rim, rushed the release, and watched in horror as the ball hit the front of the iron, rolled awkwardly across the backboard, and bounced harmlessly away into the hands of the defense. The buzzer sounded. The game was over. The easiest 2 points of her entire career had slipped through her fingers, handing away the win in the most catastrophic fashion imaginable. The immediate reaction from the crowd was an involuntary collective gasp followed by complete pandemonium. But the real spec.
Becky Hammon saying it's in her blood. None of that is fake. The offense is. And when the offense is that ugly, it curdles the whole product. She rises up alone under the rim and bricks the one she was put on earth to finish. But her offense. That's the most honest scouting report in America this morning. Angel Reese was such a bad offensive player as a kid. These jokes write themselves. She refused to play around the world. She played around the block instead and still lost every time. She claimed allergies prevented her from playing horse. She said she was too young to play 21. If the playground had a glass-only league, she'd be the commissioner. The national stage keeps asking her to score anyway. Angel Reese wanted to be Caitlin Clark's rival. She was smart enough to see the financial benefit of being attached to Clark. Every segment, every thumbnail, every forced debate, proximity to the biggest magnet in the league is a business plan. But there's a price too, and now she's really starting to pay it. Her lack of offensive skill set next to Clark's is a hatchet chopping at her reputation. People delight in Reese's failure.
Was unfolding at the other end of the floor. Caitlin Clark did not just celebrate with a standard high five or a quiet walk toward the bench. She stopped, dead in her tracks, looked across the hardwood directly at Ree, and burst into uncontrollable mocking laughter. She put both hands on her knees, shaking her head in sheer disbelief, openly ridiculing the blown opportunity. It was not subtle. It was a loud, theatrical, and merciless takedown that signaled to everyone watching that the rivalry had reached a point of absolute disrespect. When Angel Reese looked up from the floor and realized she was being openly mocked on national television, the emotional dam broke entirely. She did not just look defeated. She went completely unhinged. Witnesses on the court reported that Reese slammed the ball into the hardwood with enough force to send it bouncing 20 rows into the lower bowl. Her eyes were wide with pure fury as she charged toward the officials, screaming at the top of her lungs, demanding
because she doesn't play defense. Caitlin's defense has definitely improved, and also when she needs to step up, she has done just that.
What the? That defense is outstanding.
So with that, let's talk about the MVP race. Right now, for me, I have 4 people who I think should be in this MVP discussion. A'ja Wilson, Olivia Miles, Kelsey Mitchell, and Caitlin Clark. And I don't think at this point in time I can create a top 3. And I'm gonna make a case for all of them. I do want to start with Caitlin Clark because I feel like she had a slow start to the season. She is somebody who doesn't get put in these conversations often because the standard for Caitlin Clark just seems to be a bar that is nearly impossible to meet by media standards, by fan standards. Like, Caitlin Clark always has to overperform. Caitlin Clark can have a 20-point, 7 assists, 3 rebound games, and people can call it a stinker game. The bar is really high for just her and herself to perform. Now, what I do think is very interesting, though, over the last 11 games, Caitlin Clark is averaging 26.3 points per game, 9.4 assists per game, 3.5.
Her teammates rushed in to physically restrain her as she attempted to close the distance toward the opposing bench where Clark was still laughing with her teammates. Ree was completely out of control, tearing away from the grip of her coaching staff, shouting expletives that were picked up by the courtside microphones and broadcast directly into living rooms across the country. The entire arena began chanting, joining in on the mockery, turning the venue into a coliseum of public humiliation. By the time security escorted Ree toward the tunnel, the meltdown had escalated into a full-scale locker room disaster. Sources near the tunnel reported hearing screaming, slamming lockers, and heated confrontations between players and coaching staff. The frustration of blowing the game, combined with the psychological sting of being openly laughed at by her fiercest rival, had created an absolute powder keg. Within minutes of the final whistle, the sports world went into a state of total frenzy. Social media feeds were inundated with millions of posts analyzing every single frame of the missed layup and Clark's devastating reaction. High profile, analysts stopped their scheduled programming to weigh in on the sheer disrespect of the moment. The debate shifted.
They're into this by accident. Saturday, again, they dropped the love letter. Reese's rebounding as legend. Rodman mind, Barkley strength, fastest to 1,000 boards, league high numbers, dream record double-doubles. That's a coronation feature. Fine. Print the rebounds. Respect the glass. But notice what the piece is not about. Not touch around the rim, not left-hand finishes, not the scorer's instinct. She claims while the shot chart files a disaster report. ESPN wrote the cathedral around the one elite thing she does. Then Sunday asked the rest of the game to show up. Indiana at Atlanta. Messy game, clunky game. Nobody left looking like a bronze statue, but one person left looking like a punchline. First quarter, that wide open fast break layup made me howl and laugh uncontrollably. No defender, just daylight, and a ball that refused the rim like it had standards. As bad a miss as we've seen. I thought that would be her worst of the day. It was only the appetizer. First half, 3 of 10, 7 points, 9 boards, 30% shooting. She told Holly Rowe, I'm playing like doo-doo. That is an adult self-grade. Take a listen.
Well, Angel, your team on a 17-4 run right.
Instantly, from basketball strategy to raw human pride, did Clark cross the line by pointing and laughing? Or did Ree bring this entire humiliation upon herself after months of relentless trash talk? The post-game press conferences only poured gasoline onto the raging fire. When reporters pressed the coaching staff about the final play, the atmosphere in the room was icy cold. Excuses were offered about fatigue and defensive pressure, but everyone in the media room knew the truth. There was no defending a missed open layup with the game on the line. When asked about Clark's reaction, the opposing locker room attempted to downplay the mockery. But the visible tension, clenched jaws, and avoidance of eye contact told the real story. The psychological advantage had shifted entirely, and the damage was done.
Because I like these good to great plays. You see Caitlin orchestrating. It's like both sides are leaning into their strengths on this one.
Let's go back to Angel really quickly, though, because she was part of the catalyst that you saw to be able to change things around. And she said to Holly, I just feel like I needed to take a deep breath and maybe stop overthinking some of these.
Oh, I've been there. I've been there. Like, sometimes the basket is too open. Right. She's used to getting double teamed. She's used to triple teams, and she's used to contact. And so sometimes when you see her, like, wait, what's coming? You want to look over your shoulder. But she settled into the game well. And what I like is she's been such a great mentor also to Medina Okada. I believe Medina Okada has 6 points, 6 rebounds as well. There's no one better to learn from when it comes to being a beast on the boards than Angel Reese.
Yeah, because when the game started and Angel Reese was missing some of those bunnies, we were all talking about it, and I was like, she's not missing these because of Indiana's defense, and she's getting these layups, so that was a good sign. Even though she wasn't finishing them, then she's able to finish some of them, and then Atlanta goes on a run. The person I want to give credit for is while Atlanta was struggling, Alisha Gray was holding it.